Hello and welcome to another bug fix and also feature, I guess. Not really feature. Anyway, so we are going to go through the comments and see if we can fix some things. So Ronan said that he did find a bug where if you pick up a stack, you put it back in its own slot, it erases the stack of the item. Okay, so what we're going to do for that is we're going to head over to let's do our inventory slot, head over to the graph, and where we add to stack. Over here, we're going to basically index 1 is not equal to index 2. If that is true, we continue. If that is false, we return with a false. That should take care of that problem. We also need to do this for our BP chest. Okay, so we haven't actually added this to the chest, and I think that was actually part of the other comment. Yeah, Gaddle said, how would we do it for hotkeys in chests? Okay, so that's what we're basically going to do. Okay, so let's do it for the chest. If we head over to our chest slot, and there we go. Now we can make ourselves a function. We're going to make this one for the chest slot, and we're going to make this one for the inventory slot, and then we're also going to make it for the hotkey slot at the same time. So start with the inventory slot. We're going to make it a function. We're going to do a check if room. It will have a input of type master item. Same for our chest slot. Check if room and hotkey slot. Function check if room. Okay, so when we check if room, so we want to check that the incoming item, if the incoming item is equal to, we have made this for this in the past. We're not going to do a branch out of that. We're going to do a return node with success. We have made this in the past, just not in a function and not out here. We're going to check if the incoming item is equal to our item and boolean, and that our quantity is less than the max stack size. If this comes out to true, we got room. Take this, copy that, move it over to the chest slot, plug in the item, plug in the return node, compile that, head over to your inventory slot, plug that in. Also, we need the defaults and stuff. I completely didn't notice that it was missing, and that means that it was probably missing for the other one as well. So the hotkey slot, no, the chest slot. Get the defaults, break that open, head over to max stack size, and that should be fine for that. Now let's head over into our inventory slot for a second. This thing right here is basically what we just made. So we can plug that into there, plug that into the condition, remove this, and then the item is the dragged item. Now what we can do is we can do the same thing for our chest slot, where we haven't actually set that up for the chest slot yet, and I think that was what the comment was about. That also means that we haven't set it up for the hotkey yet. Yeah. Okay. So back into our inventory slot, we're just gonna keep changing out these check if rooms, just so we can make it a little bit tidier. That is true. Then we go over there. This one can go away now. This one can also go away. Let's handle the hotkey first. Let's handle the chest first. So over on our chest slot, we can just leave everything here as is. So this is checking if it's a chest slot that we're passing through. If it is a chest slot, then we want to do our check if room. Smooth. I think we can just delete all of these actually. Just delete all of that. Check if we have room. We can branch out of that. We can get our chest ref. Where is our chest ref? There we got our chest ref. If we do not have room, then we can swap the items at index, which we haven't made in our chest. So let's head over into our chest, BP chest, swap items at index, 2 inputs, integer, both of these, index 1 and index 2. Back into our chest slot, call our swap items at index. Index 1 will be ourselves. Index 2 is the incoming one from our dragged item. And then we go into initialize after that. You can also, let's make this one right now. The swap items is I'm gonna promote this to local 1 index, local index 1. We wanna get our contents, get a copy at our index 1, promote that. We want to get our chest contents. We want to get a copy at index 2. We want to get our contents once more. We want to set array element The first one that we're going to set is our index 1, the get node up there. Size that to fit. After this, we want to set array element. This time we want to set index 2 to be equal to the holder. And that is our swap items done. Head back to your chest slot. Where we go? There we go. This is all good if we if the checks fail, if we don't have room, so we just want to swap them. Or if we do have room, we want to make a new function as well. So basically we have our add to stack, and that is the one we're going to call add to stack. How are we gonna, now we don't have that actually in our chest, so that is a bit awkward. Add to stack. It's gonna have a couple of inputs, so it's gonna have the usuals, index 1 and index 2. Actually, can we just copy this from our inventory? Because it is big if I don't remember wrong. Yeah. So we're just gonna copy everything here. Back to your chest. Paste that in. Line it like so. Remove the locals. We got our locals here. So promote this to local index 1. Now we're going to add a couple more things to this one. So in our add to stack, we're going to have another input, which is going to be a check if it's a from the inventory. And then you can do this otherwise, switching and stuff. I am just doing it like this. And then we want another boolean, which is a from hotkey ref. Did that turn into slot? Yeah, it did. Okay. The first thing that we want to do is we want to check if it's from a hotkey. So we're going to branch out and see if it's from a hotkey. Because if it's from a hotkey, we want to bypass the check that we have here. Right? So if it's not from hotkey, we go into there. And also let's plug in these before we forget. If it's not from hotkey, we want to do the check. If it is from a hotkey, we want to go straight directly into the next branch. Because this isn't going to work with our hotkeys because we don't use the indexes there like we do in our other ones. The next branch is the from inventory, right? Local inventory ref. Plug that in to the true, remove the chest ref. So that is done. We are no longer using our inventory slot contents. It's because we're in our chest. We want to get our chest contents and plug in the index as so. Remove these two. I don't think you guys have those. It's in it's from debug earlier. This is where we want, hang on, remove that, get your inventory ref. So everything that is basically chest here needs to be inventory and the other way around. Then what we want to do is we want to get our chest contents, because the inventory becomes chest and chest becomes inventory. And out with a success. Up here we need to do, this is chest, so this needs to be inventory. Okay, so that handles our top section. And that is basically from inventory to chest. We're doing our hotkey once more. And then we do it, if it's not from the hotkey, we're going into that. That means that this goes down there. So if it's not from the hotkey, that means that it's from the chest. So this is from chest to chest. If it's from the chest to chest, then we need to, everywhere it says contents, the slot contents, we need chest contents. We need the chest contents over here 2 times, because this is from the chest to the chest. So this is from chest to chest. So we need our hotkey ref. We're going to bring it, oh god, bring that down here. We're going to promote that to a local down here. Hotkey local. So it's from, the branch goes from our from hotkey. If it's from a hotkey, that goes into true. We get a copy at local index 2. Quantity at the local, so get your local. Get the quantity. Let me check the quantity plus the quantity at the local index 2. is greater, so that goes into a branch over here. If that is greater than the max stack size, which we should have somewhere, no, we don't have it anywhere. So we can get it from defaults, break that open. Max stack size goes into there. Let's move that under. Maybe that's a bit better. If that is not true, let's do that one first. Then we're going to get our contents. Going to set the array element. Going to set it at local index 2. Size that to fit. Break that open. The item comes from the hotkey local. And then get the quantity as well. And then we need to null out our hotkey. So set item to be blank. And then set quantity to be blank. After this, we can update slot. After we update the slot, we can return with a success. Now let us move these down a little bit. We want to get our quantity, and we need that up here as well. So the quantity plus, we'll do a minus out of that. Let's get the quantity again. Take away that. And then finally, going to minus the outcome. Once that is done, you can get your hotkey local. You can set the quantity of that to the return out of this one. Apply that into the true. Could also do this down to a function so we don't have to actually, think about this every single fucking time, but it is what it is. So we're setting the quantity of the hotkey local, because remember we still have things left. So this is the remainder of that, and we're setting that for hotkey. So that means that the chest contents, we can set the array element at index 2. Size that to fit. That can be now the max stack size, because it got filled up. And the item is, of course, the same item as we have on our everywhere, actually. Let's grab it from there. Fuck it. We can get our hotkey local. We can update that slot. And we can return with a success. So this is from hotkey to chest. As we got an error. We got an error up here. And we don't have any arrays in here, so that is our chest slot. Oh, we haven't actually set anything up yet. We have just built the thing. Getting our chest ref, calling add item at index with quantity. The index is our index. Can remove this. The quantity comes from the break out of here. The item comes from the break as well. After this, we can call remove item at index from our chest. The index is the other index over there. Can move this over there, and we can plug this into the initiate. The swap should be fine. Now we need to call our add to stack. So get our chest ref, add to stack from that. Keep in mind, we don't need the hotkey or anything, because this is from the chest. So we don't need from inventory, we don't need from hotkey to be ticked, and we don't need the inventory ref or the hotkey ref. Index 2 is our index. Index 1 comes from the dragged one. Branch out, even though we're not using the false, and go down to the true. Yeah, we haven't actually set up the hotkey. Okay, so this is move things inside of chest. This is move things from inventory chest, and now we need to set up. So we got our chest to the same thing as over here. Okay, so here you got your branch. Move that down. We're going to plug in. So this is from inventory to chest. We need the inventory slot to be over here. If that is true, then it goes into there, and plug that down there like so. If that is false, copy that once more, check if that is a hotkey slot. Going to check if our item valid class. If our item is valid, if it's not valid, we can get our drag local down from there. You get our chest ref. This one goes under there. The index is our index. The item comes from the dragged item. The quantity comes from the drag quantity. And then we need to invalidate the item from our hotkey slots and then update the slot. I am 100% sure that there is a billion ways better to do what we are doing today. And in all fairness, with the entire inventory system. But it works. If it's a valid class, if that is true, then we need to check if room. So we can drag out that. The item is the dragged item. From there, we can branch out. If that is true, add the stack. Branch out into the initiate. Index 2 is our index. Even though we are probably not using the indexes based on our code, we need to plug in the from hotkey, and the hotkey ref comes from there. Yeah, we're not using the indexes. You don't have to actually plug those in. Stupid me. The quantity doesn't come from here. The quantity is from our addition up here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to head over into our hotkey slot. So if it's from the inventory to, you could also do a cast to BP chest over here and plug that into the from. So if it's from the inventory, we're checking if it's a valid class. If it's not a valid class, then we're simply adding it to the hotkey. If it is a valid class, we're going to check if room. The item that we're checking for is the dragged item. If we don't have room, we're going to add item at index with the quantity. I want to add to it. I want to add to the hotkey slot. We have that function over on our chest and our inventory. So let's go to our chest because we've been fucked around with that last. Let's yoink this entire add to stack. Go into our hotkey slot. Create a new function. Add to stack. For add to stack, we need 2 integers. Next one. From chest ref, inventory, in ref. Okay, so when we, let's head back to our hotkey slot on drop here. So if we have room, then we're going to add to stack. This is if it's from the inventory, so that is true over there. And this is the inventory ref. We're going to set up both indexes, so I don't have to think. We're going to set both indexes to the incoming one, so we can choose whichever one we want. If this comes out to be true, then we're going to update slot, and we're going to initialize our inventory. Get the inventory, get the WBP inventory, and initialize. Okay, so now let's set this up. Good thing is when we have set this up, we can just yoink it down here for the chest as well. And the other one is okay, as is. So we can add the stack here. Promote that, local one, index. The first branch is going to be if it's from a chest or in inventory. Wait, we can actually leave this, remove this one now. Okay, so now we need to see if it's, remove this one as well, and then remove this return. This is from inventory to chests. So what we want to do is we want to, if it's from a chest, from an inventory, let's do that. If it's from the inventory, then we're going to promote this in ref local. So we're going to get our quantity. Can remove this. Let's keep it for now, just while I think. And this is from the inventory, so we need to get our inventory ref, get contents, whatever index, because Remember, we got both of them to be 1 because we don't use indexes for our hotkey. We're going to get that, and then we're going to get it again up here. If that is greater than our item defaults break, then we can just control down this one to there. Then we want to set our hotkey ourselves, right? So we want to set our well, we only want to set our quantity, but let's set our item as well. So we can set our item and then set our quantity. So the quantity is this one, and then we can get our slot contents for our inventory, and then the local index one. We're gonna update the slot. Yeah, we're gonna update the slot in here. Then we're going to set the inventory contents at the array, the index. Sorry. Oh, that's the quantity, Tommy. The quantity is going to be the minus the one from there, and then after that we're going to set ourselves. Set the item as well, because we want to be sure, and the quantity to be max stack. And then we can update the slot again. Could also do this update slot after our branch at the end of this. Well, of course it's not going to work because we haven't actually plugged it in. We need to reinitialize both of these. Okay, we need to initialize here. We want to check if it's a valid class. If it is a valid class, I want to check if there's room. I'm going to come from the dragged item room. I'm going to check if there's room. I'm going to branch out of that. If there's no room, so we want to get the item and then get the quantity. I'll promote that to local quantity 1. This is turning into more and more of a shit show the more I go on. Honestly. We don't have room. We're promoting these from the dragged one, and then we're going to set the one from the dragged one. So we're going to set item. The item that we're going to set it to is our item. The quantity is our quantity. Once that is done, we can go ahead and join these guys on the update. This is actually stack if it's from a inventory. Now we need a from hotkey. Back to on drop. This is going to be from a hotkey. That's what's from an inventory. The good thing is that when we set this up, we don't have any more to set up. So it's from a hotkey. We need the hotkey ref, and then we are moving all of these a bit down, and we're doing a branch here. Now we're checking if it's from a hotkey. If it's from a hotkey, then we're going to do this. Right? So it's from a hotkey, we're going to do that. Say that ourselves is index 1 and the incoming one is index 2. So we're going to get our hotkey ref local. Also, we could use the local. You don't have to use the local 1 index local. You can use the same locals. That's what I'm trying to say. So we're going to get our quantity plus the incoming quantity, which comes from our hotkey ref local, from our incoming. Get the item defaults break. Move that max stack size down. Remove this now. Our quantity is going to be set to max stack size. Nope, not max stack size. To the outgoing one from there. And then let's also set our item just to make sure. Right, so that one goes away. And then we are setting the hotkey ref to be set item and set quantity to be blank and return with a success. That one minus, then again minus up there. We're setting ourselves, setting our quantity. Setting our quantity to be this one. Then going out into the success. And then we're setting the dragged quantity to the incoming one from there. And that is should be our add to stack chest to hotkey. Chest ref, promote that to chest ref local. So it's from chest. We can actually just copy this one up there. From chest to hotkey. So if it's from chest to hotkey, everything that is inventory can be chest. So let's get our chest ref, get our contents, plug that into there. Chest ref, plug that into there. Chest ref, plug that into there. And chest ref, plug that into there. Oh, this isn't working. There we go. So that should be it for that. Let's go to our on drop. And this is a fucking shit show, dude. Again, we're checking if we're valid. If we're not valid, we're going to set it to the incoming one. Going to set our quantity to the incoming one. And then at the chest, we need our chest ref here somewhere. There we go. Remove item at index. Index is the incoming index. And then we can update the slot. And go into the initiate. We're updating too much, I don't know. If it is a valid class, I'm going to check if room. Item is any item you want. I'm gonna take it from here. Because we got a shit show there anyway. Why not? If we do not have room, I'm going to add item at index with quantity. Index is our incoming index. Yeah, if we don't have room, we're swapping them, remember? Our item quantity. Our quantity. And then we're setting our item and our quantity to the incoming item and incoming quantity. Move this one out a little bit. Plug that into there. Now we need to add a stack. That is going to be over here. Add stack. This is doesn't matter which index we use, I don't believe. So let's just run both into there. It's from a chest. Chest ref comes from the chest down there. If I now add the stack, do we need anything else? So from chest to hotkey. No, we don't need anything else. We're using local 1 index for this. Should work just fine. So it's from a chest, branch out, if we're successful, we're going to update and initiate. Well, it's very simple. We're doing. We have no reason to go into there yet now, because we're going from our chest. So what we could do is we can plug this into the switch instead, and then before we do anything like here, we can get our HUD ref, get our chest inventory, and then initialize our chest inventory. And then into the initiate, the switch. If I do it the other way around, that's gonna add it. Okay, so the drop is on the inventory slot drop. And that is, yeah, so if it's a hotkey slot, we're basically just gonna remake things from our past up here. So we're just gonna, if it's a valid class, we're gonna check for room. Item is the drag item. Branch out. Just move everything away for a bit. If we don't have room, then we're going to get our inventory. Add item at index with quantity. So if we don't have room, I'm going to add it at index with quantity. Quantity comes from the incoming one. Index comes from our index. Item comes from incoming one. So we are swapping it. That's what we're doing. Swapping it with the item. Aren't we? If it's false, then we're going to get a copy. Get contents. Get a copy of that. Get a copy at the index. Our index. Yes, our index. Copy at our index. Item info holder, we can set that. Don't know why I kept remaking them previously. And then we're going to set it to the incoming one. And after the incoming one is set, then we're going to set it to our hotkey. So set item. Set quantity to the ones from the holder. And I believe that is okay for now. We can update that slot. We can remove this one. And now we need to go into the initialize for the inventory, because now we're fucking with that again. Now what we're going to do, if we do have room, we need to add, we're doing it on the inventory, so we need an inventory ref. And we need to add to stack. This is from our hotkeys. We actually need our hotkey ref in here as well. And then a boolean as well, just to make sure. From hotkey. Back at our inventory slot. Now we gotta add the stack from hotkey and then get the hotkey ref in there. Since it's a hotkey, we don't need to worry about the index too much. Just plugging both of them in. If all here is good, then we're going into the update. We can remove these. Now we need to fix this at the stack. Remember, we had to bypass this thing if it was from a hotkey, so we need to do that again. If it's from a hotkey, if it's not from a hotkey, we do that. If it's from a hotkey, we do this. We need to sort some things out here. So this is if it's from a chest. This is then if it's from the inventory, but we haven't actually branched that. So we're gonna do from hotkey instead. I'm gonna do branch from hotkey. If it's not from hotkey, we're going into there. Or if it is from hotkey, we're going down. So this is our same as our chest, basically. This is add to stack. We can from hotkey to chest. So this is, we can yoink that. Go into our BP inventory because this is from hotkey to inventory, right? We're going to set hotkey local to the hotkey ref that we have. Compile that. Didn't actually work. It's okay. Didn't work because we haven't actually made that variable. Hotkey ref didn't work. Hotkey local. I'm going to get our hotkey local. Get the quantity from that. Got to get our inventory contents. Get our hotkey local. Inventory contents. Hotkey local. And inventory contents. Like so. Honestly, I don't think we have missed anything. Let's give it a shot. Because we haven't actually set up the valid class. Checking if it's valid. If it is valid, we're checking for room. If it's not valid, then we're just going to add it. Yeah, we're just going to add it and null out. Sorry. As I said, it's been a long time. It's been too long. So if it's not a valid class, then we're just going to add it to our inventory. The quantity comes from our dragged quantity. The item from our dragged item, and the index is our index. After that, so it's not a valid class, we can just set ourselves to be blank. And then set our quantity to be blank. Once that is done, you can go into update slot. And that is because I'm setting the fucking inventory slot. What we need is our reference to our hotkey, which is located here. Set item. Set quantity. Remove those two. Crap. Set quantity. Setting the item to 0. Setting the quantity to 0. Plug it in. And now, there we go. Now it's working as it should. This took way longer than I anticipated, and our code looks like even more of a shit show right now, but the good thing is that once we have made this, we don't have to make it again. You know what I mean? So we might come back and clean things up, push things down to functions, and you know, do that. But until now, until then, I'm gonna fucking chill a little bit, and I'll see you guys later. Until next time, bye bye.